After. Brunch, and then the four. That's called
I know everything. He said he wants to escape.
Well, I did before.
when I say it.
Everybody got so serious all of a sudden.
What happened in your rap?
Good afternoon, good evening. What a pleasure to be together to start the festivities. I know they probably already started for the weekend, but tonight's important. You haven't lost sight of that, I'm sure. Let me...
Saves you look beautiful.
First of all, you have the state marriage license?
Yes, it's in the other.
Okay, I'll take care of that. Did you look at it after you got it? Everybody's name is spelled right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll sign this. You get one form back and I'll mail in the other and I keep one. Okay. I will take care of all of that. Excellent. That's the part. Now, do we have the witnesses designated? One end, the Jewish marriage contract, and when it was created thousands of years ago, it was a tremendous advance in women's rights in Judaism because it gave women the opportunity, not only as we found in this morning's Torah portion, to inherit property and real estate and finances and so on, but it also protected women in marriage, and it made the husband obligated to his wife in certain ways that made sure she was properly supported. In those years, marriage was a bit of an acquisition, and the bride went from her father's house to her husband's house, and we had to make sure she was protected. Now that's not really the function of the modern Ketubah, because I don't think you're acquiring her from her father in quite the same way.
Yes,
There's always one who says that. So what we have today, and of course Andrew and Molly's Ketubah is fully egalitarian and is a modern update of the traditional Ketubah. What it really does is put into writing the commitments that they make, not groom to bride, but the commitments that they make groom to bride and bride to groom. So you now share in the creation of a Jewish home and so on. And so in order to do that, because there still is a contractual nature to this, this has to be read as one would read any legal document, and then it has to be witnessed. We're going to come back to that in just a moment, and then it has to be signed. And that brings me to the two of you, the witnesses. You have, for about the next 2.5 minutes, the most important job of anyone here. And if you don't do what you're here to do, we can all put on blue jeans and go home. But I don't think that's how it's going to play out here this evening. So I'm going to ask the bride and groom in a moment to read the Ketubah, each to themselves. You have to watch them do that. There's nothing to hear. You just have to watch them do that. And then I'm going to ask them if they give their assent to everything that it says. You have to hear them give their assent. And when that's done, then we're all going to sign it, and we will stay dressed up and then proceed to the wedding in just a few minutes. So, Andrew, I don't know if you paid attention real well in Hebrew school or not, so you can read the Hebrew or the English. I do know the answer, but I'm trying to now, Molly, because I know you were a stellar student at Hebrew school, I'm going to ask you to only read the Hebrew. No, I'm just kidding. You can read whichever side you want. I have obviously seen this in advance of today in some online versions, not all fixed up beautifully like this. And so I'm willing to vouch that the English is a very fine translation of the Hebrew that's here. So if the two of you would each take a moment and just read the Ketubah to yourself.
Oh.
Molly, have you had a chance to read your Ketubah?
Yes.
And do you agree to everything that it says here?
Yes.
And Andrew, have you had a chance to read your Ketubah?
Yes.
And do you agree to everything that it says here?
I do.
Scott, did you see them read the Ketubah?
I did.
Did you hear them give their assent?
Yes.
And Zahava, did you see them read the Ketubah?
Okay.
And did you hear them, oh, she switched to Hebrew on me. And did you hear them give their assent?
Yeah.
Gam came. Good. So we are ready to move forward, and with that, we're going to ask the bride and groom and the witnesses to affix the signature. It looks like groom. Yeah, open that up, put the cap on for him, and you sign on the line where it said groom.
Yep. Full name?
Khatan.
Yes.
Okay. In English is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, in English is fine. He signed it legible. That's always a good sign. And you're going to sign it as your name is now.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And do you have a preference which witness signs where? Okay. Zahava, if you'll sign on the left-hand side of the witness.
Yeah, you can do it.
Shlomo.
Very nice. He signed Scott the S with a dollar sign on it. What do you do, Scott? You finance also?
Yes.
I know it's very subtle. He sneaks that in. And you know, there's one thing in the Hebrew I didn't mention. That separate the two of you just a little. You stay where you are. You just.
Why do they keep getting married?
Chair up there. A little bit. Is this attached? It is.
Why
Good.
do they keep getting
And
married?
if I could get the parents to grab hold, I need to get out of the way. If I could get the parents to grab hold of the Ketubah. And each of you place a hand towards the base, receiving the Ketubah from your parents. And I want to offer this blessing. Misha Barach, Aboteinu Abraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah, Hu Yivarech et hachatan ve'et hakala, v'yatzliach et darkam asher yehu ba mehayom v'hala. May God, who blessed the men and women of Israel in every generation, bless our bride and our groom, Molly and Andrew. O God, we ask you, guide them on life's journey. May their marriage be a joy and a good example to all who know them. Together, may the two of you fashion a Jewish home, and may it be a home worthy of praise. May it be a secure refuge all of your days together. May your love inspire and bless your family, your friends, and the community of Israel. And we say, Amen.
Amen.
This Ketubah, which you now receive from the hands of your parents, represents a heritage of family and marriage that began with our ancestors, Abraham and Sarah. We now entrust this heritage to you. Enhance it with your commitment and devotion. Bestow it upon the generations to come. Yisimchem Elohim ka'Avraham v'Sarah, asher banu et Beit Yisrael. May God make you like Abraham and Sarah, who together built up the household of Israel. And we say, Amen. You'll take possession of the Ketubah from your parents. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. And you can put it right back down on the table. We'll get it under the chuppah in just a moment. And now we're going to ask you, there's a second ceremony that takes place just before the chuppah ceremony, the wedding itself, and that is a bedekin. And this has its roots in a veiling when Jacob went to get married, and his father-in-law, it's not the first time it ever happened, not the last time it's going to happen, his father-in-law to be played a little trick on him, and so ever since then we like to check and make sure we're marrying the right woman. Now that's really pretty irrelevant today, because we know you've got that right too. So irrelevant. The only wedding I've had, I'm a rabbi over 30 years, the only wedding I've had where it mattered is the bride was an identical twin. And I thought, now there we better check, right? But that's not why we do a bedekin. I conduct a brief bedekin ceremony today because it allows me and all of us in a small group before we gather all together at the chuppah to offer another blessing for the two of you, because you can never have enough blessings in life in general, but especially as you begin a marriage. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is turn your chair so you're directly facing each other, and we're going to, you get comfortable, Molly, there we go, and now you're going to scoot in close. It's easier for you, you have less material you're wearing than Molly. I'd like you to hold hands, and in all seriousness now, take a moment to look deep into each other's eyes. Keep looking. You're going to spend a lifetime doing this. And Molly, I ask you, are these the eyes of your beloved whom you wish to marry today?
Yes.
And Andrew, are these the eyes of your beloved whom you wish to marry today?
Yes.
Makor HaChaim, source of all life, we ask your blessings for Molly and Andrew. We pray that the sacred commitments of this, their wedding day, will sustain them all the days of their lives. Andrew and Molly, may the love that binds you be strong and lasting, and may your hearts be filled with patience and understanding for one another. May your home be a mikdash ma'at, a small sanctuary built on devotion to God, Torah, and Israel. May you be blessed with health and courage and good fortune. May your love and friendship deepen through the years, and may you find true shalom together, true peace and true fulfillment. And to this we certainly say, Amen. Mazel tov. We can take a few minutes to fix hair and makeup.